The Olympics is the world's leading international sporting event. Pierre de Coubertin founded the International Olympic Committee in 1894, which led to the introduction of the first modern Olympic Games in Athens in 1896. McDonald's was a long-term sponsor of the Games from 1976 until 2017. Whilst McDonald's is no longer an official sponsor, a limited edition menu is released to coincide with the event every 4 years. This is my experience of trying McDonald's at the Paris Olympics.
Welcome to the Olympics edition of trying McDonald's. I mean, most of you should be familiar with the Olympics. It's probably the biggest celebration of world sport, and what it does, it brings together the four corners of the globe. I mean, just walking around here, you see people from North America, South America, Asia, Australasia. It's absolutely fantastic. What they decided to do is they look at their global menu and all their different outlets, and they've picked 7 items from different McDonald's from around the world, just on a limited edition basis whilst the Olympics is in Paris. So I thought to myself, I've got to have a look at that. And there's a few interesting items on there. And the first thing that jumped out at me is very, very humid here. I thought I've got to start with a beverage. And I think it's called something like a Coca-Cola McFloat. And from the diagram, it looks like Coca-Cola with possibly a dollop of ice cream in it. And this is something that's on the Philippines edition of the McDonald's menu. So it just comes in like a standard cup like this. You open it up, there is, well, because it's a hot day, it's started to melt, but there is a dollop of something that looks like it's ice cream, but there's only really one way to confirm that. So let's dive in. I think I might need a spoon for this. First thing I can confirm is that is ice cream. That dollop is actually ice cream, and it's you're by the beach, you see an ice cream vendor there, and they do the whipped ice cream. It's one of those. It's soft scoop. I think that's what it's called, soft scoops. On a hot day like this, it's very, very refreshing. I'm surprised that it's not more widely done, really, because it was just described as being on the Philippines version of McDonald's. It works quite well. Obviously, you've got 2 sweet components, and they're both cold as well, so that kind of works in harmony. So yeah, I think that's a concept that works. So good start. There was some pretty interesting options for the main course. There was a New Zealand entry, which was a take on the fish burger. So generally, you get the fish patty, if you like, and it usually comes with tartar sauce in a nice bun. This one has got additional items in there. I noticed there was some salad, tomato, and a cheeky slice of cheddar. Well, I don't know if it's cheddar, but a cheeky slice of cheese in there. So it's kind of like a filet of fish bumped up to the next level. And I was seriously tempted to go for that because I do like a filet of fish. Another option was, I think it must have been from Greece, it looked like something in a pitta, some slabs of beef in a pitta with salad as well. That looked pretty appealing as well. But the winner for me had to be the entry from Canada, which was a maple and bacon quarter-pounder burger. And part of the reason I was drawn to that is because everyone knows that, particularly in Canada and also the US, they love pancakes, maple syrup with bacon. I've had maple syrup with pancakes and I've eaten bacon, but I haven't eaten them all together, and I've always been sort of a bit in two minds about whether that concept works. I mean, I think generally I like to stay either in a savoury lane or a sweet lane, but having a big powerful savoury flavour like bacon with a big powerful sweet flavour like maple syrup, does it actually work? We're going to find out, because I've bought one and I've decided to double up. So for an extra, I think €1.50, you can actually get 2 quarter-pounder burgers in the burger. So let's see if it lives up to the hype. So open up here, nice seeded bun. I know sometimes when I do the premium burgers, they're trying to go for the multicoloured sesame seeds, the black and the white sesame seeds. Just kept it straightforward, just the white sesame seeds on the bun here. In terms of the different layers in there, it's relatively simplistic for a premium burger. I think I had one not too long ago, it had about 10 different layers of elements in there. So this one, on the bottom bun, you've got 1 pate, cheese, another pate, cheese again. Then we've got, I think, 2 strips of bacon in there. And it looks like some sort of orange sauce, which must be the maple syrup sauce. And I'm not too sure, there's little crispy bits, but they're crispy onions in there, and there's a couple of gherkins in there as well. So kind of what you expect to see. I think sometimes with premium burgers, they've got tomato, lettuce, other bits and bobs in there as well. Sometimes they are a bit more generous with the gherkins, just 2 small pieces of gherkin in there. But in fairness, if you go for this burger, you're pretty more intrigued with the maple syrup and bacon concoction rather than the gherkins. Time, a final moment of truth. First thing I'd say, I'm not getting a huge hit of maple syrup in that first bite. On a positive note, the burgers are very nicely done. They are kind of, almost got that charred barbecue flavour to them. So sometimes beef patties could be a little bit bland, but these are really char grilled. Got a real sort of intense barbecue flavour in there as well. Bacon's nice. I was a little bit concerned with the bacon because it didn't appear to be a nice crispy type of bacon. I do prefer crispy bacon to soggy bacon, but it's pretty good. Cheese, I'm going to take another bite, see if I get a little bit more of that maple syrup. I think those crispy things that I suspected, onions on the top bun, they are in fact that. And they work really, really nice. So what's standing out to me is the beef. The beef is the star of the show. So you might look at that and think, oh, it's going to be the bacon or the maple syrup. But no, for me, the beef is the standout. Granted, I have doubled up. So you do get more of a kick of the maple syrup as you work your way through the burger. And for me, I think it works pretty well. I think part of the reason why it works well, they haven't gone crazy on the maple syrup. I think what I was concerned about is when you go to these diners and you see them actually ladle on the maple syrup on top of the bacon, you just think, hang on here, that's a lot of sweetness there, and you've got a lot of saltiness on there as well. Whereas here, we've pretty much stuck to the lane of savoury, which is what I like from a main burger. You just got a little subtle bit of sweetness of maple syrup running through that as well. Now, out of the 7 items, there was not actually a potato selection. So there was the 3, if you like, the main dishes, which I mentioned, the Canadian one, the one from Greece, the one from New Zealand. There's a couple of sauces, a couple of dips, garlic dip from the UK, and there's a sauce that's widely available in America. There was no potato option, but I did see an interesting potato option that you don't commonly see at McDonald's. So obviously fries is the standard potato option. Here we've got wedges, but we've got a fondue option. So I think I've seen like cheese and chips, cheese and fries before, but fondue, of course, you associate that being sort of melted cheese, maybe slightly more decadent. Box. What I would say is they do look very nice. That's a positive. Slight negative, I would say. I would possibly expect a little bit more. I mean, I think these were like €4, maybe €4.30, so they're a little bit pricey. But I mean, it is the Olympics and it is Paris, which is quite an expensive place anyway, regardless of whether you're in the Olympics or not. So let's just see if they taste as good as they look. So actually, I might use a fork. It's probably the best idea with all the cheese sauce on it. So don't know how well that's coming out there. So it's dripping in this melted cheese. Let's see. They're nice. They're nice. They're nice. I mean, potato wedges, you can't really go wrong with potato wedges. And that melted cheese on top of it. What did surprise me a little bit as well, apart from the quantity, I thought I was going to get a slightly more larger quantity than this, is it seems to cool down really quickly. Granted, obviously, I ordered it and I've come back to the hotel and, I've been talking to the video right here, but they've gone cold pretty quickly. So it still tastes pretty good, but I'm sure they would have tasted even better if they were still warm. I think they've got the balance right between cheese and potato. You don't want to buy potato wedges with cheese and find out you've got virtually no cheese. You feel a little bit ripped off, shortchanged. They haven't done that. But similarly, I don't think you want to go absolutely crazy on the cheese because it would be absolutely swimming in the stuff. It would be a bit too messy to eat. So I think they've got it just right. And I think cheese and potato is just a classic combination. So I think that accompanies the main dish very, very well. Like I said, this wasn't a limited edition Olympics offering, but it's not something I commonly see at McDonald's. I thought I've got to give this one a go. So we've had the beverage, we've had the burger, we've had the potato element. There's of course one thing left. And quite handily, out of those 7 items, limited edition items, there's only one dessert item out of those 7 left. And it was an entry from, I believe, the Indonesian McDonald's. McFlurry with caramel popcorn. So yeah, very interesting. I've never had popcorn in a McFlurry. I don't think I've ever had popcorn and ice cream together. So yeah, we'll see if this one works. Let's go for it. I'll tell you what, for something that on paper is quite basic, quite simplistic, that works really, really well. I don't know, I suppose it's just, caramel sweetness with that ice cream obviously works well, and then you've got that crunchiness of the popcorn in there as well. It's I've tried quite a few McFlurries these past few months, and this one, it's up there. It's a contender for the best one out of the sort of new McFlurries that I've had these past few months. A contender for being the best one. I can see why Indonesia have proudly forwarded this for consideration for the Olympic selection on a limited menu, and I can see why. I don't know if there is an Olympic committee on the McDonald's sort of director board or what have you, but whoever was the decision maker in selecting the 7 items, the fact that they chose this, I can see why they chose it, why it was selected to be one of the final 7 items, because it's very, very good. Like I said, on paper, pretty straightforward. Vanilla McFlurry base with some caramel sauce and that sort of crunchy popcorn. It's just fantastic. So yeah, I think there hasn't been a bad item today. I mean, if I had to rank them, I probably would actually put the Philippines drink, the Coca-Cola with the ice cream, probably in 4th place. It was good. It was solid. Like I said, it didn't blow my mind, but still very, very refreshing. The other 3 items though were like another notch. They're all sort of top tier. The burger was absolutely fantastic. Definitely, top 20% burger, maybe even a top 10% burger that you get at McDonald's. Absolutely fantastic. And the wedges with that cheese fondue, that just takes things up to the next level. And that McFlurry is, if I did like a list of McFlurry rankings, this would be on the podium. No question about it. This one would be on the podium. So I think the Olympics Committee, the McDonald's Olympic Committee, have done a very, very good job of selecting some fantastic items, and I think it's a great celebration. So Olympics isn't just a celebration of sport; it's a celebration of food, and McDonald's have done a good job. So yeah.